Radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a Black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding, while boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners, so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Don't play with her, don't be dishonest. Ay. Still not understanding this logic. Hey, I'm back and I'm better. I want you bad as ever. Don't let me just let up. I wanna give you better. Baby, it's whatever.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, with you Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. I hope you had a great day. It was hot once again in LA. It was hot. There was traffic. But you know, it's always good. By the time I get here, I truly look forward to having conversations, really great conversations, and engaging with you all. And by the way, if you want to engage in today's conversation, you can definitely do that. I welcome you to do that. You can call 1-800-920-1580, or you can join us over in our YouTube chat. That's always fun. There's a community over here in our YouTube. I tend to think you guys are friends offline. I mean, that's the way y'all communicate. And it's really nice. It is. It's very nice. I am, by the way, if you do want to go over to our YouTube page, which is KBLA 1580, I'm going to put up my question of the day. Maybe I'll have another one. But right now, I saw online someone who posted a caption on their social media saying that they paid $20,000 for a playground in their backyard, and they have two young kids. They're a celebrity, yes. They have money, yes. But if you had, buku bucks, would you spend $20,000 on a backyard playground if you had young kids? We recently talked about spending a whole lot of money on birthday parties. I'm definitely not on that. But if you, this is a little bit different, I say. So go ahead and I'll leave that question of the day over in our poll, our post. You guys can go ahead and poll on it, vote on your poll. So let's see. Do I have any updates for you guys? I can't get to a whole lot of them. I want to go in on this Carly Russell young lady who, as you all know, over in Alabama had been missing for some time, and obviously she is the talk of social media. I'm not going to get into that. I'm sure everybody on this station is talking about it at some point, but that's a shame. I'm wearing a Black Men Matters shirt right now representing, but Black women, we matter too. We just gotta be truthful about when things do happen to us. Andy, you sound like you're trying to give this girl, a pass. You're trying to give her some grace.
Carly Russell?
Yes.
I know nothing about that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm trying to stay away
from it. But then you agree with me that Black men matter and Black women matter too.
I agree with you, but I do find it interesting. It was like, damn, the black men couldn't just have our own space, just that own celebration. You had to go ahead and throw in that Black Women Matter too, which they do.
The shirt speaks for itself. So you have your own, yes, Black Men Matter, period. I was just talking about the Carly Russell thing, so I'm saying Black Women Matter too, but that's how the two conflate. But I got your point, Andy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into what the Rob Report is about today.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Okay, well, Jeezy, who is a rapper, but he's also a businessman, he is really doing some big things. He actually revealed in a recent conversation about something that went left. I mean, once he revealed that he was involved, it went left, and it opened up this conversation online, and something that I thought we should take to this conversation here on our radio show on the Rob Report, because I have questions. I have questions about celebrities and when they publicly announce that they own properties or they own businesses. I have questions. I definitely want to dig into that. If we have time, we're also going to talk about Nas, we were supposed to get to this yesterday. He's releasing a new project. Nas is iconic in the hip-hop world. He's a trendsetter. He's all kinds of things. A lot of people have him in the top 5 rappers of all time. He's releasing a new project. Let's talk about this whole narrative of, if you are too old to put out rappers, by the way, if you're too old to continue to put out music. We'll talk about it. We'll break it all down amongst some other things. And we are supposed to have a wonderful conversation with a great artist. We'll get to her in a little bit on the other side as well. Hopefully we can get to all of this, keep you guys engaged. Again, if you want to chime in on any of the conversations, you can do that by calling 1-800-920-1580. On the other side, we're going to bring our contributor in and get this conversation rolling. You are listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Lil Real. Right now I'm hanging out with Robin on the Rob Report. That's right.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Maisha Cairo here with a quick recap for my time at JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. There were speakers Ian Dunlap, Damon John, Lynn Richardson, MC Light, Dom Kennedy, to name a few. Take a listen to what Justin Grant, Community Development Lead at Chase's Advancing Black Pathway, let's see what he had to say.
So I'm Justin Grant. I lead Community Development and National Partnerships for JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Pathway strategy. And so we're focused on strengthening the economic foundation of Black communities, and we're making targeted investments in programs like the Advancing Black Wealth Tour to help us get our tools and resources out to the community to drive sustained impact over time.
So when it comes to Black and brown people, it sounds like Chase is making it their personal responsibility not only to facilitate these events, but to educate and provide resources. So Mr. Grant, I have to ask, what does wealth building look like for the individual?
It's home ownership, it's having that freedom to be able to start your own business and create jobs in your community, and it's having that long-term plan towards retirement, having that vision for what you want your life to be, and you have the resources to actually live it.
I'm Maisha Cairo. Thanks for sticking around. That was my recap from Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. First stop was here in LA, and they're taking it national.
What's up, LA? The Reparationist community got something real special going down in historic Leimert Park. August 12th, 2023. This event is sponsored by Reparations United and Black Pact, fighting for justice and empowering our community. Together, we can make moves. We have an insane lineup for y'all. The sultry Rotimi, the king of LA, The Game, smooth Eric Benet, and none other than the powerful sounds of Blackness. Also, we have some special guests in the house. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, State Senator Stephen Bradford, LA's beloved Councilwoman Heather Hutt, and many more. They're bringing their passion and leadership to the stage. Mark your calendars, August 12th, 2023, Leimert Park. Let's come together, support each other, and make a difference. Peace, love, and reparations benefit concert and unity rally. Be there or be left out. Produced by Tara Perry of Black Pact and Cam Howard of Reparations United.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cash back app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SIMPLE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SIMPLE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SIMPLE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, I am not here to do this by myself. We have the lovely, because it's Wednesday, you already know what that means. It's TK Trinidad. How are you, TK?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. I know with all the all the Carly Russell talk on social media, it's hard to see any of these other conversations that are going on. But I do want to actually a little bit later, if we can get to this, I definitely want to talk about the Nene Leakes' son. His name is Bryson Bryant as well. I want to talk about that if we get a chance to. But and I'm sure you've seen all of that as well, TK. But let's talk about Jeezy for a second, because this is very interesting. He's no longer the owner of this restaurant. It was a steakhouse that he had. Apparently it was really nice. It was high end, and he said it was doing very well. It was a 3-story beautiful restaurant, he says. And you know, usually when you have steakhouses, usually like the nicer ones, they are beautiful. They you can charge a decent amount of money for all of the food there. Well, he opens up about the fact that he went public. It was doing well, and then he went public saying that he was actually the owner of this particular restaurant. And from that point, when people found out that he was the owner, it started to attract a different kind of crowd, a different kind of community. And he said that one day he had gone in there to eat, and it looked like Freaknik up in there. He said it went from one thing to a completely different thing. And he said all of a sudden, I guess people were trying to, and this happens a lot, once you know that a particular celebrity owns a restaurant, you feel as though they'll always be around. They'll always be there. And maybe that's your chance to meet them or dine with them. Maybe, I don't know what the thought process is on that, but oftentimes you see this happen when celebrities mention that they are the owners. So he said that, and all of a sudden, he said it started to go down. It started to go down from there. And this is not the only time we've heard about things like this. There are several rappers, in fact, who own restaurants, different kinds of restaurants, like Rick Ross. I know he owns all these wing stops, but they're wing stops, you know. Wing stops, you're going in there to get some fries and chicken. But 2 Chainz, he also owns a restaurant called Escobar Restaurant. And apparently, I had never been there, but from what I hear, it was also very, very nice. However, you know, he's got his name on it. He's attached to it. And so it does invite a different kind of community. So the question is, because Jeezy mentioned he wished that was actually one of his best kept secrets at one point, this restaurant. Should these celebrities kind of keep these things a secret? These rappers, I'll say specifically, should they keep them a secret, or is it, I guess it could work one way or another. I'd like to know your thoughts about whether they should keep it a secret or in fact announce that they are attached to this restaurant.
I think it's, pretty much just kind of knowing your audience. And he had also mentioned that, a lot of people that showed up were kind of people from his past life. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, one of those things where if you take a stock of, everybody from, close friends to, the people of 6 degrees of separation, you should be able to kind of tell which way it kind of skews. You know what I'm saying? So, I think whoever was helping, with his investments is kind of, we've talked about it before, where you're having a team, somebody who is from outside looking in to say, hey, based off of all this, research and assessment of, the people who buy your stuff and all this other stuff, it's skewing this way. Mm-hmm. So it might not be the best case to put your name on this restaurant, but it'd be a good case to put your name on, whatever his audience skews to, like, for instance, Snoop doing stuff with marijuana and other products. A lot of his stuff that he caters to is very much to his audience. So I'm willing to bet Snoop might have, stock in a really high-end restaurant that we have no idea about. So I think it was just kind of one of those things of just really having a team and having that one person who is that outside factor, who's not connected in any sort of way per se, but that can look at your overall stock of who you are and who your audience is.
That's a good point. And as you were talking, I'm literally thinking about all the different types of rappers and namely men. It's usually men who are going into that field for one reason or another, or the women who, if they do have stock in restaurants or other businesses like that, they've definitely kept it a secret. But I mentioned Rick Ross. Nas has a restaurant called Sweet Chicks. Actually, they have one here located in LA. They have several around the nation. And it's interesting. The food is really, really good, but there were conversations when I had attended, all kind of people talking, our neighbors talking about what it's lacking. And unfortunately, that celebrity is going to catch all the flack for it because their name is attached. Not even thinking about the other investors or anything like that. So on one hand, you have a Jay-Z who has the 40/40 clubs and, all the different types of businesses that he has. And I think what you said is right. It depends on who your audience is, right? Who is your audience? So I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea, but when Jeezy says something like, it was my best kept secret and it was doing so well up until he publicly claimed it, it makes me think maybe that is more of the route to go. At least maybe starting off, maybe you get it up and going, and then you get it, your restaurant gets a name for itself, and then maybe at some point you come out and say, in a press release, I am in fact the owner or something like that. I don't know. That's my thought on it.
Or just pivot your audience. I mean, Snoop and Martha Stewart's probably like the best example. I mean, who would have thought, 30 years ago that Snoop and Martha Stewart are pretty much, they portray like they're really good friends. They've done a lot of different shows together. I'm pretty sure, now that I even think about it, I'm pretty sure there's some type of businesses that we don't know that they have partnered together. So I think it's just kind of like, if he wants to move into that direction, pivoting to something else, and it's, it might be a higher end restaurant, maybe the price was low enough that a lot more people can come. So it's just, learning stuff. So, you learn from that experience, and you determine whether you want to scale up, do a higher end restaurant, or scale down so people who want to support you, because that's why they were there, people who want to support you can, and you're still making money either way.
All right. Well, interestingly enough, it was Nas, the one who sort of promoted he what do you call it? I don't know the right word, but Nas is the one who had the conversation with Jeezy, asking him if he was the one who owned the restaurant. And, at some point thereafter, I guess Nas opened up his own restaurant. But I want to go into Nas because we just learned, he just posted that he's going to be having an album drop in July, right? In a few days, on July 21st, which is Friday. And I know a lot of people are happy about it. A lot of people are excited because Nas is that guy. And anytime Nas drops anything, it's gonna be good for the most part. And we're having this conversation about age because, and this is to Kwamel, who says that he doesn't like. He actually calls it a dumb subject matter, talking about the age of artists and shaming artists because of their age. Well, the conversation around shaming artists or talking about artists and their age, particularly rappers, comes from a conversation that Kevin Hart and Dr. Dre were having on Kevin Hart's Peacock show. It's a talk show called Heart to Heart. And when Kevin asked Dr. Dre if he was going to be putting out any more music, Dr. Dre was like, man, I'm almost 60 years old. This is a young man's game. Dr. Dre is 59 years old. Nas is 49. Yeah, he's not old by any means, but the question is, since Dr. Dre pointed that out, is rapping a young man's game? Do people have a tendency to shame those rappers who continue to put out art, whether it's good or not? Do we look at that, or should rappers in general, not just men, but should rappers stop after a certain point and sort of pivot into a different art, a different place in the hip hop industry? What are your thoughts on that, TK?
Well, I did a little super quick Google search. The average age of a rapper is 25.2 years old. But with that being said, it really just depends on the person, meaning that, because you're married and you're living that married life. But, as somebody who is, dating and stuff like that, if you are, 40 something years old, 50 something years old, and you are still trying to be a rapper, and this is your only livelihood, and you don't, have certain things, just basic stuff in life, not even saying you have to drive a fancy car, like, life insurance, that stuff, taking care of your kids, then I feel like, you should give up that dream. However, somebody like Nas, who, he's done it all, and this is still his passion. I'm willing to bet that the numbers that he got when, he dropped his first couple albums to now is totally different, but he's doing it for the love of the art, and he's making it for himself. Then do you. Like, we don't have, like, if you don't want to hear quote unquote older rappers, then don't listen to them. It's kind of one of those things where it's a young man's game if you're trying to break into the industry. I think that's what Dr. Dre really meant. It's kind of one of those things, and I think I said this before, people think middle age is 50 years old. The average person doesn't live to 100. So if you're 50 years old trying to be a rapper, and if you want to, and there's other creatives who do that too. If you want to, bet all your chips on that and hoping that one day, maybe at 65, you hit it, then cool. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of things in life, that, health and all these things that, you need money for. So, for the long story short, I don't care. I don't care what you do as long as it makes you happy. However, the caveat is if this doesn't bring you money and now you're relying on the system to take care of you because you decided to bet all your chips in a career that the average age for a person to make it is 25 and you're 50, then, there should be some caveat like, look, that's the choice you made. So
is that where the shaming is that where the shaming comes in? Is if you are older and you're just trying to make it, not if you are already in the game, you've already made a name for yourself and you continue the art. Andy, you're shaking your head. Do you want to get in on this? No? Okay. So he agrees with you, TK. He's basically that's your point though. You're saying that you're fine if you're already in the game. Someone like Nas, he's just doing it for the enjoyment. He's not trying to do it for the money or for the fame. Clearly, he's just doing it out of the love.
Right. And I mean, you do have younger rappers who do shame older rappers for coming out with music. But again, it's a different audience. You're talking about different things. Like, what you were talking about and what you were caring about at 21 or 17 or whatever is kind of different than what you're caring about when you're, you're 40 or you're 50 or even you're like 35. So, it's, think about when you were a child and you met somebody who was 30 years old and you thought that they were old as dirt. Right.
Yeah.
And then you get to that. You get to that age, and you're like, oh, that's not old. But then you're looking at people who are 16, 17, and you're like, man, can you grow up? Can you get to maturity? But you don't. That's all the parts of life. So of course, a younger rapper or a younger person is gonna think that Nas is old. Like, to them, Nas could be their father. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I hear you. And Andy, I'm telling you, Andy is totally agreeing with you. I want to hear from Forrest. He's calling from Compton. I want to hear your point of view on this, Forrest. If you could go ahead and give us what you think about it.
All right. Hey, how y'all doing today?
Hey, doing well, thank you.
I got a few points real quick. Young rock and roll artists don't shame older rock and roll artists. They look at them as rock gods, and they try to learn from them, first of all. But hip-hop seems to be the opposite. The older people talk trash about, or the younger people talk trash about the older people, and vice versa sometimes. But I like the way hip hop is going, because you think about, for us as black people, let's say R&B, a lot of those guys got cheated out of their money by lawyers and fake, contracts and all that crap.
Yeah.
And they died broke. And now these younger, I'm going to say, because I'm 56, so the golden age of hip hop, those people learn how to not get cheated out of their money so much. And then the newer artists, even more. They're keeping more of their money. They're jumping into vitamin water and McDonald's and all this other stuff. So they're learning how to, navigate through the financial part of it. So, I think that if you're at an age where, like a DJ Quick, he changes his music even the older that he gets. It becomes more sophisticated as far as the person being able to listen to it. Jay-Z, same thing. You see grown folks listen to it, not just kids. So I think that hip-hop is in a pretty decent place right now. We just need to learn how to, have a little bit more respect for each other. That's about it.
What a great point. Thank you so much, Forrest. We definitely appreciate you for calling. I hear that. I hear that point. I agree. I don't shame. I think that it's sad that we have that conversation, that people actually do shame rappers when they're older, or anybody for that matter, for doing something that they're very talented in and doing something that they have a love for. And I feel like if you are creative, if you have a talent for something, you're supposed to put it into the world. That's literally what you're supposed to do. So I don't get that conversation, but I just wanted to bring it up because Dr. Dre, who's someone we deem as being the GOAT, right? Dr. Dre is that guy who sort of pushed back on trying to continue the music business from a rapper standpoint because of his age. We'll go ahead and continue our conversations on the other side. Right now, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You're listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on The Raw Report.
More of The Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. 191,000 voters. That's how many are scheduled to lose their ability to vote in Georgia next month. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger plans to remove the voter registrations if they don't respond to mailed notice in 30 days. Officials believe those targeted voters are inactive and have moved away from Georgia. The rejection rate for loan applicants jumped to 21% in 12 months through June. That's the highest level in 5 years, according to the latest edition of the Fed survey, which is published every 4 months. In 2020, a Zillow analysis of data from the Home Mortgage Disclosure Act revealed the rejection rate was 84% higher for Black applicants than their white counterparts. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
In Santa Fe Springs, 605 North, right at the 5. Had a stalled vehicle in the left lane. They got it over to the right shoulder, but that 605 North still is a slow ride from the 605 all the way up to the 60. And on the 605 North, right at Peck Road, got a disabled vehicle being cleared from the left lane over to the right shoulder. In East LA, 5 North, right at Downey Road, got another disabled vehicle. This time, it's going to be blocking the right lane.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. Visit jpmorganchase.com/racial equity and get the tools to help reach your financial goals.
Wendy's BOGO $1 deal is back at participating Wendy's. Buy a Dave's Single, Spicy Chicken Sandwich, 10-piece nugs, or medium frosty, and get another for $1. Double your deliciousness. Hurry, this BOGO deal won't last.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
A former girlfriend of Tiger Woods has decided to drop her $30 million lawsuit against the golf legend. Erica Herman had filed an unlawful eviction lawsuit against Tiger after he broke off their relationship in 2022 and told her to get out of my house. Tiger and Herman had lived together for 6 years in his home in Palm Beach, Florida. A guy named Perrion Winfrey might be the dumbest athlete in sports today, and his dumbness might have cost him his NFL career. Police in Berea, Ohio have listed the second-year defensive tackle with the Cleveland Browns as a suspect in an aggravated robbery case. Winfrey is accused of taking the cell phones of 2 women he got into an altercation with. This went down 3 days before the star start of the Browns training camp on Saturday. The Browns cut them this morning. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is dedicated to empowering our communities by providing progressive talk radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a Black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding, while boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners, so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
Attention boss ladies, it's time to refresh, restore, and renew. Announcing the Restored Leadership Brunch and Wellness Summit, Saturday, July 22nd at Levels in downtown Los Angeles. Enjoy delicious brunch and refreshing mimosas while networking with other boss ladies. Meet representatives from Nike, Puma, and the Los Angeles Lakers. And prepare to unlock your inner CEO with the amazing Dr. Karen, founder of the MK Circle CEO Institute. Sis, it's hard to prioritize yourself. That's why the Vermont Slauson Economic Development Corporation created the Restored Leadership Brunch and Wellness Summit. Connect, discover, refuel, and realign. Save your seat now at restoredevents.com. This is an exclusive event and seats will fill up fast. That's Saturday, July 22nd at 12 noon at Levels Downtown, located at 888 South Olive Street. Register now at restoredevents.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
To all the ones I loved across the world. It was all good till it went bad. It was all good till she went bad. She went bad on me, y'all. It's all good till it's all bad. She went bad on me, y'all.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. If you're just joining us, welcome to the conversation where we are talking about ageism within rap, within the rap community. Nas is putting out his next album, or project, we'll say, on Friday, July 21st. And the question is, Dr. Dre says, you know, he's too old to be putting something out. But I want to go ahead and get to Dr. Sunshine from Los Angeles. Dr. Sunshine, welcome to the Raw Report. Let us know, what are your thoughts on this entire topic? There's so many ways you can turn it, but let me know what you think.
Okay, first of all, Robin, you are killing it on the Raw Report.
I love you. Thank you.
I'm super grateful for this topic. Obviously, when it comes to ageism, there's all kind of mental health issues attached to it. But to stay just right in line with what you're talking about on your show, I'm listening and I'm saying young people are missing a really, really important facet of the whole conversation. And that is that artists, old head, vet artists like Nas and Dr. Dre have a solid foundation. So they have listeners and followers and fans. That's like a core base that's there for them. Like new artists have to, prep, prime, convince, sell me. But you say Nas has an album coming out on Friday?
Yeah.
I don't need to listen. I'm buying it.
I know that's right.
Dre,
I know that's right.
69? I don't care if he's 79. Dre has decades of proven hits. So I'm in there, and I think we can't just let that pass by. You know what I mean? We can't overlook the fact that old heads have solid base core fans.
Agree with you. I think everybody here agrees with you. I said the same thing. I mean, I don't know where that kind of conversation comes from. It could be just the younger ones shaming the old ones. But Dr. Sunshine, thank you so much. We need to get you to call in more, please, and thank you.
Absolutely. Keep doing your thing, sis.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get TK Trinidad back in here. TK, do you have any final thoughts on this? Because we got to let you get going until next week. Any final thoughts on this whole thing?
Yeah, I honestly, like I said before, I think Dr. Dre really was more referencing people getting into the industry than established people. Yeah. We have P. Diddy dropping an album. Some people are calling him old, some people aren't. You could choose whether to listen or not. But I think he really was just referencing, it's all of a sudden your, father or grandfather decide to get into the music industry and, they already didn't have a solid foundation of life behind them. They're like, I want to make my money doing this. Then I think it's more questionable. But I think that's what Dr. Dre was more referencing to versus somebody like a Nas. I definitely don't. I think there's two things, and sometimes in society we want to apply it to one, but that's pretty much it.
Well, I think this is a great conversation. I appreciate your insight on it. And I'll be buying the Nas album, or I'll at least be streaming it. All right. So, TK, let everybody know where they can find you online.
You can find me everywhere on all the things at TK Trinidad.
We appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your night, TK.
All right. Thanks, you too.
All right. And like I told you all earlier, we have a fantastic guest on the Raw Report. I'm excited to have her here with me in studio, actually. She ain't even calling on the phone. Last time she was going to call on the phone. Now she is in studio. We have Grammy award-winning songwriter and beautiful singer, my gosh. We've got BB in the studio with us right now. Hello to you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. Just go ahead and turn that so everybody can
Hey,
hear.
y'all.
Okay,
there we go.
There it is. There it is.
Okay, microphone check. What's going on?
You speak just as lovely as you sing. So we need to hear that voice.
Thank you.
I definitely appreciate you coming on, and I'll tell everybody the backstory on me meeting BB here. We met last year at the ASCAP Music. They had a women in music event. Yeah. And she came all fly and whatnot. And she was, I was doing the behind the scenes video. I was doing their Instagram, social media and all that for ASCAP. And I came across Brittany or BB rather.
Yes.
Because it's BB. Let's not get it twisted. But I do want to talk about that for a second. I do want to know your new moniker.
Yes.
And where that came from. But she was so lovely. I started to follow you on social media, and I was blown away at your voice and your music and your history. Can you let everybody know just a little bit about you?
A little bit about me. I'm from Compton, California.
Hey.
First and foremost, love her from my city. I've been singing for a really long time, but I got my big break back in maybe 2014. My first record that I wrote was a record with Kanye West and Theophilus London called Can't Stop.
How you go from I'm trying to make it, and then all of a sudden I'm on this
I don't know. Jesus.
Yeah, come on, amen.
The Lord. Okay,
yes,
the Lord.
Yes.
And so I started off just writing. writing music for a bunch of different artists. John Legend, Chrisette Michelle, Lettucey, Robert Glasper, Jennifer Hudson, Queen Naija, Kiana Lede, just all these incredible artists, right? But also like the City Girls and Summer Walker, right? And all those cool girls as well. And so I just feel immensely blessed to do it, to do what I do every day. And now I am venturing into releasing my own music. I started dropping my own records.
Yes.
And here we are.
Yes. And again, the music is straight fire. There's something to be said about someone who has prepared so much in advance for the opportunity when it comes. They say that luck is preparation meets opportunity.
Yes, it is.
And so do you feel, because there's one thing to go from like, okay, you did some work with Kanye, right? And then you're like, is it going to happen for me again? Did you ever have the thoughts of like, is it going to happen for me? Or did you always know your talent and believe in yourself to one day be where you are now?
To be honest, I've never wanted to do anything else in life. And I'm a really, really firm believer on manifestation power of your mind.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I remember like Big Boy from Big Boy's Neighborhood came into, telling my age a little bit, came into my classroom and was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was like, I'm going to be a singer, right? And I was like, probably like, I don't know, maybe in the 8th grade or something like that. But I remember standing up in front of the class and like singing, and like I've affirmed this since I was a very, very like young kid, knowing like what my gift was. And so I always encourage all my friends, figure out what your gift is. You know what I mean? So I never had like a doubt that this wasn't what I was going to do. I just didn't know how it works, how the industry works, really.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you get on tour? How do you get these placements? How do you meet artists, right? It seems like this little bubble sometimes around the industry, right? And then once you start to get into it, you're like, oh, it's just, it's 1 degree of separation, after a while.
Yeah.
So,
and then the more you do it and things start to unfold, you're like, okay, that's how you did that. And then you continue to go and you learn more and you do more. And then you arrive where BB is. Andy? Oh, okay. I thought Andy wanted to get in on. So, I know that here's what's funny. I watched Love and Hip Hop. I watched Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, right? Because I was really into social media at one point. When not social media, reality TV, when I had like a ton of time, and watched the entire season. You were on Love and Hip Hop, right?
Yes.
I did not even know that was you at the time. Do you get that a lot?
Sometimes, a lot of, to be honest with you, half of my fans are from Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, okay.
And so, and then the other half know me from like just being an award-winning songwriter, et cetera, and from just different things. But I have a lot of fans from Love and Hip Hop, and I'm very grateful to have went on the show. Like, good, bad, and different. I know that a lot of past castmates have, their things of what they say about the show, but television is one of the biggest platforms that you can be on. And so I feel grateful because it opened up, my story, my brand, my name up to a lot of different people who may not have known that there was an African-American A&R working at a label or, or a female songwriter working with some of their favorite artists. And so I was okay with it. I was okay with a little bit of drama and a little bit of, but a lot of people, when they meet me, what they say is that you're so totally different from Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
And
Is that something that you think you would ever do again? Especially now, having graduated to this position that you are now, you're doing your own music, all of the things, right? Is it something that you would use again to use it rather than... Do you see what I'm saying? Like, use it as a platform and exposure to what you're doing now.
I feel like Love and Hip Hop was what it was. For its time. I feel like it had its season in my life. I feel like it's had its season in general.
Yeah.
The whole franchise. It was special at one point. I feel like now, for me, where I'm at, I don't know if I do it again.
The show or reality TV as a whole?
The show.
Okay.
I would do reality TV again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do reality TV.
Okay, all right. Somebody.
I feel like I got
here.
a little story,
Okay,
I feel like, and I feel like I have a personality for it, and that's
Yeah.
a hard thing. You have to have a personality for it. You gotta have tough skin. a lot of people ain't got that. They think they just want to be lit, but it's like, no, it
comes with a lot.
It comes with a lot.
Yeah.
And so now that I've done it and I've kind of gotten that, out the way, I feel like, I'll do it again.
You'll do it again.
Yeah.
Why is it that you started off as a songwriter? Is it because that was the first opportunity that presented itself, or did you always know you wanted to be an artist?
So I started off as an artist.
Okay.
I started off as I see a little hair. Oh, there it goes.
Sometimes it be like that.
Right. I'm like, I started off as an artist, and I was going around, like, going to ASCAP events, BMI events, etc., and just saying, like, hey, my name is Brittany B. I'm a songwriter. I'm an artist. And then being like, oh, okay, that's nice to meet you. Right? And then I would play them my music, and they'd be like, oh, my God, who did those, who wrote those songs? And I'd be like, me. And they're like, oh, so you're a songwriter. And I'm like, I guess I am. I'm a songwriter.
Yeah.
Right? So then I started going around and saying, hey, my name is Brittany B. I'm an artist and a songwriter.
Yeah.
And that just opened up so many
whole
more
songwriting,
doors.
yeah. You led with that because people were so interested in the fact that you wrote these incredible songs. So now that you've been put on, you're still doing it, obviously, but now the goal for you is to really lead with the artist foot.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, what can we expect? Give people. I mean, we're gonna play some of your music, obviously, but can you give people just a general synopsis of what your sound is?
My sound is non-toxic.
Okay. I like that.
Sultry, sensual, feel good R&B. That's what it is. It's kind of I don't want to say genreless, but it's more storytelling, and it's very much that. That's what I would say.
Musical influences.
Brandy, Tank, Stevie Wonder. Mary J. Blige. Oh my gosh, she's my mom in my head.
Oh,
in my
I
head,
love
she's
it.
my mom.
Okay.
She is. Drew Hill, Lauryn Hill,
Yeah.
112. Ella Fitzgerald.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the thing about Frank Ocean. I listen to Frank Ocean every day.
Oh, that's a nice twist.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I definitely can hear the influences of it's not even saying that you've patterned yourself after anybody, but I think that's what you do as an artist. You study, you listen, you try to learn, and then you utilize what you've learned and create your own sound. But it's beautiful. I mean, I'm telling you, when I was listening, because you were we talked about you coming on the show a while ago. And I was listening to your music, and I was like, yo, BB is fire. Okay, well, let's go ahead and let's go. When we come forward, we'll get to some music of yours. I'll let you tell us what you want us to play.
Whatever.
I have my own.
Whatever your favorite is.
Okay, I got my favorite. So when we come forward, we'll get to the rest of this conversation with BB. And I do want to know how you switched from Brittany over to BB because, I think everybody would be interested in that. So we'll talk about that and more. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger hanging out right here with my family at The Rob Report. Keep it locked.
You're inside The Rob Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
The family of Keenan Anderson is suing the city of Los Angeles for $100 million. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Keenan Anderson, a high school English teacher that was visiting Los Angeles from Washington, D.C., was tragically killed at the hands of the Los Angeles Police Department in January of this year. His family, alongside civil rights and personal injury attorney Benjamin Crump and Carl Douglas, have announced a $100 million lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles. Crump and Douglas are representing Keenan Anderson's son, Sincere Anderson, and his mother, Gabrielle Hansel. The family is suing for civil rights violations, assault and battery, false imprisonment, and negligence on the part of the LAPD officers. The family of Keenan Anderson and attorneys Crump and Douglas want it to be known that this is only part of a systemic issue within the fabric of police departments everywhere.
You're listening to K-Drip, where we play all the best classic water-wasting hits like watering your lawn during the hottest time of the day and leaky faucets. They're tunes from another time because now that we face a hotter, drier future, every drop counts. Despite an extremely wet winter, keep using less water, fixing leaks, and reusing indoor water for your garden. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more ways to conserve. Up next, brushing your teeth with the water on. K-Trip.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of the impactful CBO, known as the Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every South LA high school. Say Yeah, as they are popularly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCEL scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Raw Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
And you already know. We always do Who's Got Next on this show. Who's Got Next? You gotta know is BB. Okay, so as a singer though, because songwriting singer, she's already been on the map, but she's definitely got next. I want you to introduce this wonderful song that I just love. Can you let the listeners know?
What's up, listeners? You're hearing it exclusively on the Raw Report.
Hey.
Okay, it's your girl BB, and this is Contagious. If I'm being honest, you understand the assignment. What we have is so vibrant. It's a special alignment. So I pick the one, you pick the playlist. I hit the lights, you hit my favorite spots. I be your private entertainment, and I can never get enough. Baby, it's you that I'm into. And this love that we make so outrageous. I never knew that you'd be so contagious. Boy, you're so contagious. You're so contagious. And since we being honest, every time feel like the first time. Baby, come undress me, yeah. You're the perfect stress relief, oh. I pick the one, you pick the playlist. I hit the lights, you hit my favorite spots. I be your private entertainment, and I can never get enough. Baby, it's you that I'm into. And this love that we make so outrageous. I never knew that you'd be so contagious.
Contagious. BB. Okay. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. I love that. Penny Thompson says, great feel, good vibe. BB, love your voice. God's gift. Forrest Harrison says, I like that. Very sexy and smooth. Yeah. And you said sultry earlier. I mean, that's definitely the perfect adjective, sultry.
Yeah.
And Zoe Williams, of course, is giving it a he is giving it a thumbs up. Listen, I really would like to know, BB, you have now, this is your new moniker. You are going out into the world as BB.
Yes.
At what point did you decide to switch that up?
I feel like I built such an incredibly solid foundation as Brittany B, the songwriter. Even going on Love and Hip Hop, right? And just kind of going out, my brand was so heavily like Brittany B, you know. And I felt like for my artistry, I wanted to separate it, and I wanted to make sure that people didn't necessarily continue to attach everything else that I have done along with my artistry, and just to give it just a fair chance without any other judgments or, veils with it. Just literally just, if you listen to the music, you'll love it and you become a fan of BB, right? And I think it was super important for me to do that, because oftentimes as a songwriter, like a Priscilla Renee, right, who is a songwriter, who is now Money Long, right? She changed her name and she changed her moniker to be able to give her music an opportunity to really thrive. And I think it's super important for us to do that.
Yeah, I have a couple of minutes left, but I have to ask you, you just said if you just listen to the music, right? Absolutely. But with all the people that you've collaborated with or written for, you have the opportunity, I'm sure, to say, listen, hop on this song with me. But you are very confident in the fact that you can just ride it solo and just do your own thing solo. Is there a decision in that? Or do you plan on having a lot of collaborations in the future?
I plan on having collaborations, but I feel like...
you can hold your own.
Yeah, I feel like I can hold my own, and I think that it's okay to do that. Obviously, I feel like sometimes when you see a lot of features, it's not organic, right? And so you see, and don't get me wrong, it's a psychological thing, it's a game thing, I get it. But for me, I'm in a space of like, whatever is supposed to happen for me will happen in the right time, and I'm just laying that foundation for everyone to hear my music.
Well, we love you. We love the music. Let everybody, I am Kelvin H says, I like it. Okay, so let everybody know where they can follow you online.
Ironically, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Brittany B Music. Okay.
Brittany B Music.
Yes.
It's obviously follow her there. She's doing some incredible things. I am a fan of you and your music.
I'm a fan of you.
I appreciate you so much, and thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you. We got to have you on at some point in the future.
Yes.
Obviously, when you have more music, when you do another reality show or anything that you're working on, we look forward to having you on the show again. So thank you for coming on to the Raw Report. All right, guys. I'm Robin Ayers. And remember, you don't want to change the dial, because Zoe Williams is coming up next with the voice of reason. Remember, today and every day forward to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Grocery prices are a priority at the White House. Speaking in a White House briefing, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the Biden administration is working to bring prices down. She noted the White House also launched a crackdown on price gouging in the food industry. The Michigan Attorney General says she filed charges against 6